That should be us live, maybe? I don't know. Hello, everybody. Today, we're going to play some Hades. A game that I should like. A game that I should really like. I love Supergiant. I love Bastion. I love Transistor. I didn't play their other games. What was it? Pyre. I also love roguelikes. Probably, potentially my favorite genre of all time. If not, it's up there. So it's like, that's a match made in heaven. We have an amazing roguelike. Or we have an amazing developer, indie developer. And then they make a roguelike. And it's like, oh, that's going to be fantastic. But for whatever reason, I've never been able to get into Hades. I've tried it on Switch. I think I've tried it on Steam. And according to my PlayStation, I've put about 7 hours into it on the PS5 here. And every single time, I fall off it very, very quickly. Now, is there a way for me to... Yeah, last played 29th of December 2022. So that's the last time I played. However, we have to stop. We're going to restart. Start a new save.
Of Hades, whose very name inspires fear and penitence, reminding us of the inevitable fate which we all share. However,
It's just like,
tell you such
I
a
don't...
tale.
I think it's to do with how story heavy the game is, to be honest. Because I'm like, oh, this game looks beautiful. Plays really well. It's kind of... At the time, it was a more unique roguelike. Now, there's a lot of games that are basically just trying to be Hades, which is fine, because, I mean, it all started with, say, The Binding of Isaac, and then there were so many games that were like The Binding of Isaac, and, you know, eventually the genre just morphs, which, you know, is obviously great. And hopefully with, like, more Hades-like games, you'll get more ideas and stuff. But there's a lot of games that, when I look at them, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a Hades roguelike. Now, hopefully, I should still have a fair bit of muscle memory here. Might take me maybe a run or two to get up to speed, but I'd like to think I'll be able to get to the Serpent boss relatively easily. Because I genuinely want to love this game, because I know Louis loves it, who is in the chat fairly often. I think Jake loves it. It's just like one of them games that everybody seems to love, and I don't know. It just doesn't click with me. Or should I say, it doesn't click with me as much as most other people. But I want to like it. It's kind of like Dead Cells, to be honest. Hades is a great game. I will never finish. Do you mean never beat one run of it, Alex? Or you'll never finish it full stop? Or like to complete the story or whatever. Your attack is stronger and deflects. Your cast damage all foes in a small area. Your dash deals damage and deflects. I think that one's really useful if I remember correctly.
You are, goddess, but thank you.
And I wonder if just going straight into Hades 2 would be better. Welcome, Koopa. Welcome. How's it going? Has it been a long time? Well, not a long time, but I think it's been a couple of weeks anyway. How are you, Koopa? Is that not the same thing, completing the run and completing the story? No, I believe... I actually only Googled this. I think to complete the story, technically, you have to... I think you have to win like 6 runs in total. And then you get like all the story. Now, I don't know. See, that's the thing. I think there's... For me, it's like, I think there's just a bit of a... I don't know, like a conflict between heavy narrative and roguelike games, because they are so arcadey. Like, they are arcade games at their core. It's you die, you go straight back to the start, throw another quarter in, or, you know, click restart, and then off you pop. And when you have a lot of story in it, I don't know. It just doesn't gel well with me. Yeah, it's been a month or two. Just finished my last set of finals for law school, so I'm doing well. Well, I hope to God, Koopas, that you passed. Law exams are very tough, and fair play to you for being able to get through that. That's a serious achievement, being able to get through it. Because, as I said, I only did undergraduate law, and it was like a mix of law, economics, and politics, so it wasn't even a full law degree, and oh boy, that was tough, so well done. And I hope it goes well for you. Is that just, Koopas, do you have to then go on and do more exams, as like, you know, pass the bar or whatever? I don't know, I think you're from the States, so I don't know what the rules are on how you actually become like a qualified lawyer or solicitor over here, or barrister as we call them. Yeah, graduate in 2 weeks and then need to take the bar exam on July. Ooh, that's quick. That's very quick. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but I beat the first 3 bosses and I do not feel compelled whatsoever to make... Yeah, to be honest, Alex, the thing that always gets me is the... I've beaten them on the Switch, but I've never, like, consistently gotten to beat them. The Minotaur and the Gladiator guy, I forget his name. But that's usually where I stop playing. Because I can get through the first world, the first 2 worlds, relatively easily. And then everything else just kind of falls apart after that. And then it's like... I don't know, it's... When you're in that mood of like one more run, it almost feels like you're missing out because you're not engaging with the story in between and talking to the different characters. I could be wrong in that. Like I could just be missing something. I'm really not sure. But it's kind of the same with Dead Cells. Like Dead Cells is another roguelike that is like, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to be one of the people, oh, it sucks or something, because it doesn't. Dead Cells is obviously a very high quality game. But there's just something about Dead Cells that, you know, I can put 10, 15 hours into it and then I just fall off. Like, it's not like Enter the Gungeon or Isaac or, I don't know, let me think of other roguelikes I've put a lot of time into. Darkest Dungeon, you know, it's not like them where I feel that I physically cannot put it down, you know? And that Prince of Persia Rogue game is coming out, which is made by the team that they didn't originally make. They're not Motion Twin. They didn't make Dead Cells, but they've helped out on it quite a bit. I am interested in playing that one. I think the art style looks brilliant. I'm actually playing through Prince of Persia Sands of Time on the PS2. I have the CRT right here on my desk to play games with it. And I was playing Prince of Persia Sands of Time on the CRT. That's the first time I've played. Well, I'm like, you know, 80% through the game, but it's the first time I've played Sands of Time. Really impressive, like really, really impressive game. I think it has a lot of issues now, mostly in like its pacing and combat, because I think the combat just ruins the pacing of the game. But outside of that, the platform is really slick, and the production values are very high for an early PS2 game. The animations are unbelievable still. So that's going to be the next video. Oh, well, it might be the video after the next video on Retribution. Can you charge up your attack on this? Oh, yeah. Feck, I forgot you can press triangle.
That's what you get.
Reduce damage. Nah, special. We'll just go with the damage. I'm pretty sure that you can't finish this run, can't you? Not?
Can't heal myself, but I can fight.
Or maybe you can, I don't know. So then a question to everybody in the chat: what's your favorite roguelike game? Because mine is The Binding of Isaac. I think it was the sort of the first game I can remember that kind of, you know, made roguelikes into the genre that it is now. There was other indie ones before that, but that seemed to be the one for me anyway that I remember everyone talking about. And obviously it has the benefit of having, like, you know, 10 years of updates and technically a sequel, but I don't think any game has come close to it in the way of like secrets and content and just the amount of items. And yeah, where do we want to go? We go to a... No, I think the purple shit's actually really useful for the start.
I think I hear the river.
Honestly, I haven't played roguelikes, but maybe I should try. Yeah, I would say like if you want shooter roguelikes, I think Enter the Gungeon and Binding of Isaac Rebirth are the two best that I've played. And then if you want these sort of isometric top-down, like melee kind of ones, everyone loves this game. So I don't think you could probably really go wrong with it. I like the damage deflect or dodge.
Why, good to see you, Charon, mate. Just minding my own business, taking in the sights, and sure is awfully convenient to be running a deal like this. I had all this coin I wanted to get rid of.
Boon info. I don't know what it's like to platinum this game.
Be me.
I've never platinumed the roguelike. I don't even think I've ever come close. I think I would have maybe tried at some point with the Binding of Isaac, but for years, them trophies were glitched, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they still are. So I just play Isaac on the Switch. I actually played a feck load of the Binding of Isaac on 3DS, which is I don't think many people could say that. And the game really chugged near the, like when you got to like the end levels where there was loads on the screen, the game would like go slow motion. It would still be playable, but it would actually make the game way easier because like you have slow motion on, so it's so much easier to dodge projectiles and stuff.
The underworld's power.
You never know, maybe on this stream I will just go through and beat this in like one run somehow, and then I'll be like, oh, this is the best game ever. Having the dodge that damages is so useful. And I have to admit, like the past couple of weeks, obviously I started up Retribution, so I've been playing a lot of retro games. But like, nothing really modern has been speaking to me. Like I haven't, outside of stuff that I've had to do for say Game Explain or Double Jump, I haven't really touched my PlayStation. I know I'm playing on PlayStation now, but like I started up a run of Elden Ring again, and I will beat it before it comes out. I put like 15 hours in so far, but it's just not really speaking to me right now. It's like every time I sit down, like, oh, I'll play it for 40 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, that was fun. And then I go back to play the PS2, or because I've been playing a lot of, I said it on the last stream, but I've been playing a lot of light gun shooters. I have a light gun, Time Crisis 2, 3, and Vampire Knight. And, light gun shooters are just so fun.
Quite a bit.
Like, just so ridiculously fun. And they really capture that get good mentality, even though a lot of the design is bullshit because they're all arcade games.
Come on, mate. Haven't we had more than enough of each other by now? Besides, don't you have someplace else to be?
Your father sent me. All in all, I'd rather be on your bad side than his. Now you can turn back like a good little man, or I can send you home the painful way.
Yeah, the amount, like, I got a modded PS2. I still buy the majority of the games physically.
I'll have to go with the paint.
But yeah, I have a modded PS2, so I have a lot of games on it. And I just have I don't know, so many ideas on what games I want to cover, and just, you know, just not enough time to play them all, even though they're short. Oh, I'm gonna die, won't I? I think I will. And then she dodges through. Now she does her slash. Oh, now she does her... Okay, what are you supposed to do about that slash? I guess just don't get close to her. Back out. Ah, no, I'm gonna die, yeah. If I could somehow pull this off. Get out, get out! Okay, I have exactly 1 health left. 1 hit. Ah, didn't dodge. Ah, oh, well, that was a good start anyway. I got to the boss at least. It's not a complete failure.
damn it. I'm home.
I also picked up a couple of PS3 games, and one of the games I picked up I didn't even know existed. It's a FromSoft JRPG called Enchanted Arms on the PS3. It was only like €12. I'm pretty sure it's like a bad game.
Guess that means you died out there, huh? Well, don't be sad though. Pretty much everybody dies sometime.
It's one of those where the story is alright, but the gameplay makes up for it. Yeah, so it seems to be a pretty mediocre JRPG, but it's made by FromSoft, so it'll be interesting.
More than others.
Back already. You've returned. Stupid boy.
Greetings, Father. My ransacking was a delight.
Be on your way in.
Now we get the pet Cerberus.
There's a good boy.
The dog has enough troubles of his own. Infernal watchdog.
You watch over things.
Good to see you, lad. Despite
And fear is for the...
Okay, so you are Achilles.
the House of Hades.
See, because if I remember correctly, like, you can't really be expected much from your first couple of runs.
Do not despair, child. Such setbacks are inevitable and may be overcome with effort.
I believe it, Nex. I'm grateful.
The risk is not to me.
Yes, we are.
Then go.
Already, I think I've listened to this, like, starting dialogue
Back.
maybe 50 times. Deal damage and special attack with strike and falls from behind. Restore small amount of... Yeah, we'll do the small amount of health. Or we'll... Yeah. I mean, there's literally 1 HP, so it doesn't really make much difference, does it?
Chambers of Prince Zagreus lie in a perpetual state of utter.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad, is it?
I used the mirror to grow stronger. Death Defiance as well.
Okay.
Now, I don't like the bow, if I remember correctly. I think the bow in this sucks.
Let's deal some death. Psst, over here. What the?
Okay, fire a volley. Press while dashing to dash strike. Okay. No, we're not using the bow. I remember not liking the bow.
Nice place you got here, boyo. Name Skelly has it going, but enough with the small talk already. I'm here to do a job. So let me have...
I don't remember how.
Oh, I'm...
If you insist.
Cool. Off we pop to the next run. Let's see. I think I'll be able to kill the boss. Have to be a bit smarter with the attacks. I took way too much damage at the start.
Thunder. Is that
It's Zeus.
really him? Okay. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Greetings there, young man. Look, your father's always been rather difficult, and he's not so much as...
Okay, what do we get in your attack? Emit chain lightning. Yeah, we'll just do the attack.
Old Uncle Zeus lending his support. Never thought I'd see the day. Or night. Whatever.
Okay, we should be able to do some good damage now, hopefully.
You're
Ooh.
nothing.
Feck. See, it's just like little things like that from just playing so many roguelikes is like, you need to, the only way you're going to ever win at a roguelike is if you stop taking stupid bits of damage. Like, I took 5 health there just from, like, absolutely no danger whatsoever, and you just shouldn't.
Wretches.
Now, health is I didn't even see those spikes either. Health is definitely a bit less important in this than, like, say, Enter the Gungeon or Binding of Isaac. Like, if you even lose half a heart in Binding of Isaac, it just feels like, oh shit, that's terrible, and I may as well restart the run or something, but this game you get a bit more health. There we go, more health, lovely. So are we all excited for the Switch 2? Such a weird way to announce it. And I predicted on Jake's channel that it was going to come out in March 20 or 2025, which after that announcement, I'm not sure. I think I might be wrong. I think it might actually be after, to be honest. Bad games can make for a good time. Oh yeah, 100%. Bad games can definitely still make for a good time. That's why I cover so many like AA games. Not that a lot of them are bad, but you know, a lot of them are certainly a mediocre, I guess. I wouldn't say bad. But I find that honestly more interesting to make videos on when you can see, oh, the developer was trying this, or this didn't work out for them, but they were trying. But, you know, I find that just way more interesting. Plus, if you just play an absolutely awful game like Balan Wonderworld, especially when you're making a video on it, like, you can have a bit of fun with it as well, which is always entertaining to make. Oh, Koopas, then we are in two completely different boats here. I think the Switch feels ancient. Because, I mean, it is 2017. Ooh. Yeah. Nah, I'll keep the money for the end. But yeah, like, the Switch came out in 2017, so that's 7 years. That's a long time. See, it's weird because I think the PS5 still feels like it's new, even though it's been out for nearly 4 years now.
So, looks like you're selling. Is that it? You come to help me out?
I think it's just because the PS5 was like...
Brilliant.
I wonder, I assume COVID had a part to play where I think it kind of felt like it came out at a weird time where it was like, oh, you know, we still have all of these PlayStation 4 games, so the start of it kind of felt like a follow-on from the PlayStation 4, and it's only really been the last, like, what, year that we've gotten PS5 exclusives. Oh, Jesus. Oh my god, I'm taking so much damage. I am taking so much damage. It's because I'm not killing the small guys, that's why. Forgot how you're supposed to fight this guy. Yes, there we go. I still need to finish Tears of the Kingdom as well myself, but I'm at the stage where I got so far into it that I'm nearly done, but now I don't have the muscle memory or anything, so I'm probably going to have to start it again, put another 40 or 50 hours to get back into it. Sorry, Arlo was just barking. I just want to make sure everything is okay before. Yes, everything is fine. Just had to make sure there wasn't no one at the door or whatever.
You recognize your uncle, do you not? We've a lot of catching up to do, but first thing...
We'll gain the random assortment.
Looks like I caught a big one.
Because these all these currencies will be useful as I try to just upgrade my starting stats. All the extra, like those little bits, like extra lives and whatnot, they're extremely useful. I wonder if someone has beaten this game on their first run. I assume there has to be somebody that did it. I miss having the dash that deflected and did damage. Yeah, there's just something about this game that I really liked the first area. I think it plays really well. And then, I don't know what it is about the later areas. Oh, this guy.
Must look like I'm slacking off with the old boulder here, but...
Well, you know, just out on a little stroll is all. Do me a favor, though. You see the Fury Sisters, let them know.
If I have any recommendations for Ireland, it depends. Ireland is very expensive. Keep that in mind. Dublin specifically, even if you're going anywhere like the smaller cities like Galway or Cork, it's still going to be very expensive. So just bear that in mind. It's also a pretty expensive city, like especially Dublin. Like if you're in Dublin City, you'll be paying €7 or €8 for a drink. Like if you're getting a pint or something, or if If you're getting a gin and tonic, it'll be even more. Well, like, you'll find a pint for, like, you know, 6 something under €7, but still, the majority of the stuff, especially in the touristy areas, you know, you could even find a pint that would cost you nearly €10, which is just ridiculous money. But I mean, you can't go wrong with going to Dublin, Galway, or Cork. I'm a bit biased, obviously, because I'm from Dublin. Dublin is more expensive, but there's more to do. But regardless, it's like if you go to Dublin, Galway, or Cork, you will get pretty much everything you want. If you want to do history/museum stuff, Dublin is better. But there's still stuff in Galway and Cork. But if you want to, like, go stay in a city and then have the sea beside you to be able to go to the beach, or have a mountain that you could go on a nice hike around, all 3 places are perfect. So you can't really go wrong with either. It just depends on what you want to do. So yeah, what sort of a holiday are you looking for? I was only playing tour guide to Cristiano there, because he moved over to Dublin. So the Adzi Gaming fan club will be growing by the minute. Hey, that's me. Oh, it's Cristiano. Welcome. I think Dublin would probably make sense. And yeah, I mean, yeah. So the thing is, with Dublin, as I said, it's expensive. Like, if you look up a hotel in Dublin, you're going to be paying €150 to €200 a night just to stay in Dublin, in like an average hotel, nothing fancy. And then the food and stuff is expensive. But if you're in Dublin City, there's like so much to do. And one thing that you have to realise, Koopa, is that Ireland is a very small country. So even if you're in Dublin City, you are 30 minute train journey from the beach, from a mountain. Like, you can go for a hike, you can go visit a seaside town where they've loads of fresh seafood. You get unbelievable seafood, like in a place like Howth or something. And then if you want to go into town, well, the city over here they call it town. So if you hear people saying, yeah, we're going to town, it means they're going to Dublin City. You'll have an unlimited amount of restaurants, an unlimited amount of pubs, an unlimited amount of like nighttime, like just nightlife with live music. You can go to a nightclub to see a DJ. You could go to a random pub where they'll have a band playing. Like, there'd just be loads to do. So yeah, you can't really go wrong. And then if you want loads, there's fucking loads of museums in Ireland as well, or in Dublin specifically. Your lightning effect also makes foes jolted. Victims' next attack self-inflicts lightning damage. Now we go with the cast. In my local, it's $5.50 a pint. Yeah, that's not bad. Now out here, like I don't live near Dublin. Well, like, I live near Dublin City just because Dublin is a small place. But like, in the grand scheme of things, I don't live near Dublin City. But you know, a €6 pint isn't. Now, I don't drink that often, but a €6 pint isn't unheard of. Oh well, it's probably, yeah, €6, €6 to €7 is probably the average. And then if you want to get cocktails, then it gets even more expensive. Actually, Cristiano, what's the difference in what's it like living in Ireland now? Is it way more expensive than where you lived in Brazil? Yeah, well, Coop is like, just talking about your €10 pint or $10 pint. I was talking to Jake one day, and he had to pay like something like $8 for an almond latte or something, and that was it. And I was like, oh my god, what the hell? Like, coffee's expensive over here, but Jesus Christ. Ireland is the most expensive place I have lived so far. Yeah, that checks out. It's a stupidly expensive place to live, especially in Dublin. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Like, as I've told it multiple times on the streams, but like, my brother lives in Barcelona, which is a way bigger city than Dublin. Probably one of the largest cities in Europe, I'd imagine, by population, maybe. But it's a big city anyway, way bigger than Dublin. There's probably 20 million people living in it, and there's like 5 million people in the whole of Ireland. But oh wait, I just want to read this. Your specialist cause lightning bolts. Yes, my brother's like paying, like his rent is probably half of what you would expect to pay in Dublin, and then everything else is way cheaper. Like he gets a coffee for €2, where I pay €4 for a coffee, or he gets a croissant or a baguette in a bakery for like less than €1 over here. It costs you like €4. Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, rent, everything in Ireland is ridiculously expensive right now. Just load of fuck ups everywhere from loads of different sectors. Yep, that sounds about right, Cristiano. Oh, I'm not paying attention here. I'm gonna die again. Okay, we need it. Okay, I can't jump into her when she's charging up that. Oh, no, I'm dead. I'm gonna die again. Yeah. I spent the summer in Manhattan. It was bad there too. Yeah, I'd imagine New York is worse. Like, see, that's the problem though, is that, like, at least I know, Cristiano, you said you moved over here for like, or well, I think you said your wife is going to university, which is obviously like that is one thing. Like we do have a pretty high standard of education in Ireland, like especially if you're going to one of the big colleges. Like our colleges are pretty good, or universities, I guess. So like that's cool. You know, you're coming over here for a reason. But for me, like, I'm stuck here because, well, I'm not stuck here for any other reason other than I couldn't leave. I'm too much of a homebody. So it's like I have to put up with the price of everything, or just move elsewhere, and I just can't. You're trying
to guilt me into funding the exorbitant furnishing.
Perhaps once we...
Nice.
So that's just part of it. Yeah, like 2,400 for a studio. I'd say, like, if you were to look up the average rent price in Ireland for like a 1-bedroom apartment, or in Dublin, should I say, because like if you go in the Midlands somewhere, you get one dirt cheap. Like, let's say average 1-bed rent Dublin, I would imagine it's probably about 1,700. Yeah, 1-bed average Dublin is 1,643, so 1,600. So there you go. Okay, any of this
Work authorized. A fountain chamber in the depths of Tartarus sounds like an excellent idea.
Chambers contain urns. Yeah, I don't know what they are, but we'll just add them in.
Minor prophecies.
But it's just like everything is so expensive. Like my brother and his girlfriend go out for dinner so much in Barcelona because they're going out, they're getting multiple course meals each and drinks for like, you know, €60, which is insane. That is completely unheard of over here. If you go to like a chain restaurant, I don't know, in the States, is there let me see. I think it's called Johnny Rockets in the States, is it? I don't know if they're the same company. Johnny Rockets. Yeah, I assume they're the same company because over here there's a chain restaurant called Eddie Rockets, and it's like themed after, like, you know, a 1950s or 60s diner. You know, the sort of like red checkered walls with the red leather seats. You have jukeboxes and stuff, and it's just a bang average chain restaurant, like completely bang average. You get burgers and wings and, you know, chicken tenders and chicken wings and whatever you want. That style of food. And like if you went there with 2 people for like 2 courses, it would cost you probably €60-70 just with no drinks or anything. So yeah, it's just insane. We'll go with that. We'll upgrade that.
All right.
It's just part of it, I guess.
How's it going?
Any luck last time? Hey, pal.
I'll just aim.
And then it's just like, you know, everything else, like, eventually everything just sort of like starts to creep up. So like all of a sudden, like, your shopping is slightly more expensive, and then your internet bill, like my internet bill went up by like €6 last month. I don't know why. It just went up by €6. So everything is going up by that, and you're like, oh, it's only an extra €6, but that's going up. And then like hummus is used to be 90 cent, now it's 120 or something, and it's just everything is going up. So it's pretty annoying. Yeah, that sounds about right, Cristiano, because like when I listen to I don't know if anyone like used to listen to like Kind of Funny, or they listen to Last Stand Media, or the old IGN podcast Beyond and all that. But like if you listen to any of them people that lived in San Francisco and they worked at IGN, or they worked for one of these game companies, it was like they were like, oh, that's, yeah. They were working in IGN, getting paid like what, like $50,000-$60,000, which is nothing for San Francisco. And the only way they could live in San Francisco is by like sharing apartments with like 4 people, and they're all like crammed in like sardines. Well, Cristiano, if you really wanted a history lesson on it, it's way beyond my knowledge anyway. But there's a lot of things. That is one thing, is the housing, and like there's just not enough new places being built. And now all of a sudden there's loads of new places being built, but it's almost too little too late. And then we also don't have like any infrastructure to support it. Like where I grew up around my parents' house, so we lived outside of Dublin City, like, you know, a 15-20 minute bus journey with no traffic. Like we weren't far. And like my housing estate would have been almost like the last housing estate until you get into almost, not exactly countryside, but like back roads and fields and stuff. And then for years all them fields were left unoccupied, and there was like ghost housing estates that were like kind of half built because of the Celtic Tiger that crashed. And now all of a sudden all of them fields are apartments, and they're just lashing up apartments left, right and centre, but it's probably too little too late. And then the infrastructure around it, now they're trying to lash up schools, and the roads can't support it. It's just a fucking mess. It's an absolute mess.
For someone born in hell itself. You come on out of there and tell me all about it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, like, Cristiano, like, I've lived in, like, the suburbs of Dublin my whole life, so a lot of the people I know, like, grew up in houses. But yeah, I know, like, there's a lot of people who, if you want to move into the city centre, like, you have to live like that because it's too expensive. I'd never want to live in there just because it wouldn't suit me. I'd much rather live outside it. I just don't really like the city that much. Your attacks inflict doom. But yeah, it's a very complicated situation of a lot of things that caused it, and yeah. But as I said, like, even building loads of new houses and stuff, like, the infrastructure can't keep up with it. And another thing is, like, so my dad is a plumber, so he has a small plumbing company, and and I've worked with him as well, and like they work on building sites of, like, you know, houses of 50 or building sites, and their housing estates will say 50, 60 houses in them. And it's so interesting because a lot of the houses, this is the thing, is they're working on these houses, and before they're even built, like, a big vulture fund comes in and will buy like 40 of them. They'll basically buy every single one of them and take them off the market before they've even gone to market. And that's a problem. That's a massive problem. That, like, your average person isn't even seeing these houses. Like, it's these big vulture funds that are buying them either to put them up for rent, or sell them, or even keep them as Airbnbs or something. And yeah, that's just another thing to add on top of the pile. Is public transport good? Yeah, the public transport in Dublin is good. Where I live now, it's like I'm a 30-minute walk from a train station, which will get me from here into the city. And and then I have, but where I lived, and then there's like buses that will get me into the city. But the transport out here, I'm a bit further outside of Dublin. But when I lived with my parents, like the infrastructure around there was perfect. Like there was 3 different buses I could have got that would have brought me into the city centre and take me to different spots. I was 20 minutes from a train station, and you know it was perfect. So yeah, and then if you live in the city, like you know the traffic's pretty bad, but you know you'll be able to get a bus anywhere, or the train, or the dart as we call it. Plus they're doing a massive sort of like pedestrianising Dublin city, where they're making a load of bike lanes, and they're trying to get as many cars out of the city, which I know a lot of people complain about, but I think it's the only way you can make a good city that people can live in, and it's sort of, you know, not a pain in the arse to get around. Because like I went to Berlin with my history school, or my history class, and it was so good because the public transport was just brilliant. Plus our public transport is pretty cheap as well. You can get a Leap card that you top up. It's like a top up prepaid card, and yeah, I think the max is like it could be €50 a week or something, and that's if you're like getting loads of buses. So and then it just caps out, and then you know get free transport, I guess. So it's pretty inexpensive as well. And then like I had a college Leap card where I think it was €20 a week maximum is what I'd have to pay to get any bus anywhere. So
Your father Hades in
and yeah, Cristiano, them like vulture funds they're just scummy. They fuck everything up. Airbnb fucks everything up. Loads of problems.
Must be the fountain chamber I commissioned back at home.
And almost not enough, almost too many problems to fix. We go with the health upgrade. But yeah, Cristiano, what were you paying for like? What were you paying for like a coffee back in Brazil? Hello, Rain Man, welcome. It's Hades. It is a game that I just don't like as much as everyone else says, or as much as everyone else does. Rain Man, we're talking about the cost of living in our respective areas. So how much is it, like, let's say you're getting a cappuccino or a latte. Now, and then if you know the price of getting it with or without alternative milks like oat milk or whatever, let me know. Because over here, I would say an average price for, say, my order is an oat flat white. I would imagine. I'd say an average price probably $3.50. Okay, wait, Rain Man, $5 for an iced latte. Okay. See, that's actually probably not that bad considering the States. I know, like, the wages in the States are way higher. You get a cappuccino for, like, yeah, okay, €2. Less than €2. Yeah, that sounds like my brother in Barcelona. It's pretty expensive. And then you get an almond croissant with it or something, and you're up to like €7. But unfortunately, I don't really drink. Like, I don't drink often, you know. I don't drink often, so I put my money into coffee and golf. Yeah, unless you go to Starbucks. Oh, Starbucks is fucking ridiculous. Like, where I live, there's a couple of coffee shops that make unbelievable, like, they're proper, like, you know, what would you call them, hipster cafes that do proper coffee, like proper coffee, and it tastes absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. But when you, like, you say it's $3.50 for an oat flat white, you go to Starbucks, an oat flat white with like shit coffee is like €4 plus, and then if you start getting into these iced oat shake and espressos, which I'm not averse to because I love those things, they're like €6 or €7 for a small. It's like, Fuck off. Like, you're Starbucks. You're supposed to be able to sell things to me cheaper because you're a massive corporation that can order in, you know, £1 million of beans a month or whatever. But instead, you just charge out your arse. And you get away with it because people pay it. So. What's your go-to caffeinated beverage? It's an old flat white. Well, no, actually, my go-to, if I go into town, or Dublin City, and, you know, obviously you get a lot of sort of specialist coffee shops in there. If I'm going, I would actually get a filter coffee made by someone in it, because filter coffee is my favourite, like a V60 or something like that. I don't know, I've always just preferred that. I find filter coffee or stuff like that a bit more refreshing than the milk-based coffee machine or coffee drinks. And then if I'm at home, I make French press because it's just easy and it's tasty. Yeah, don't worry, Ray, man. I got it. What's everyone else's go-to caffeinated drink? Cristiano, you were asking me about tea, so I'm gonna take a guess that you're a tea man. Which surprises me. I would have assumed every single Brazilian would have just loved coffee. But actually, you probably grow. I don't know. Is tea something that is something that's grown in Brazil? Now over here in Ireland, we drink a lot of tea. Lions and Barry's tea. That's the age-old question. I'm almost certain they're made in the same factory, and people pretend to know that they can taste the difference, but they're just bullshit. It's as simple as that. And I just don't believe anybody that says you can taste the difference. They're just two commercial tea bags, probably made in the same factory by the same company. It was like, no, I prefer Barry's. It's like, no, you don't. You don't fucking know. I think we're going to do it, boys. I think we're going to do it. I will read chat now once I hopefully kill this boss. I'm an iced coffee person no matter the weather. Yeah, no, I like Stomp Koopas. You get basic black coffee. Oh, Cristiano's a coffee man. Iced coffee for Ray, man. Alright, hold up a second. Part of the reason you don't like this game is because you skip through the dialogue, seeing how it evolves. Jake, I have read and seen this starting dialogue God knows how many times because I've started this game at least 5 times and played, 5 or 10 hours of it. So I know roughly what's going on. My partner does not like coffee at all. I don't trust people that don't like coffee. Yo, Jake, tea is a thing in Brazil as well, but I feel it's different from everywhere. But I feel like it's different from everywhere else in the world. Well, actually, Cristiano, did you get your tea? Was the shop a good recommendation?
How did you?
Also, Cristiano, have you tried Irish Guinness?
Can wash away my bones.
Yeah, we just want to get loads of currencies off the rip. Lol, this caffeine comes from soda. Is Irish Guinness different from normal Guinness? I have heard that Guinness. Well, part of the reason apparently Irish Guinness, there's actually 2 different types of Guinness. So there's Irish Guinness and there's Nigerian Guinness. So I think Nigeria has the biggest producer of Guinness in the world because Nigeria is a massive country. It has a massive population. And there's a plant over there that produce Guinness. And obviously you can imagine they have to produce a load because there's a lot of people in Nigeria. And I think Nigerian Guinness, I've heard this from a taximan from over here from Nigeria. And he was like, oh, Nigerian Guinness is so much better. And you can actually buy Nigerian Guinness in like African sort of supermarket shops in town. And it's a different percentage. Let me see. Nigerian Guinness ABV. Yeah, so Nigerian Guinness is 7.5%, and I think Irish is probably what? Would it be 4.3 maybe? Yeah, 4.2, 4.3. That was actually a good guess. So there you go. They're different. But yes, I have heard that Guinness around the world is absolutely not. I've never had a Guinness in another country. Like, even in Ireland, you will get a shit pint of Guinness. Because that's the thing with Guinness. It's like, it's one of them drinks that you can genuinely just get a bad drink of. Like, they just don't know how to make it. Because I've heard, again, like, how you pour a pint of Guinness is completely unique than other alcoholic beverages. I assume other stouts you probably pour the same. I don't know, but like, yeah, I've seen videos. There's a Facebook page I think called Shit Pints of Guinness, and it's people who go around the world and put up pictures of their shit pints of Guinness that they've gotten in other countries because they just don't know how to pour it.
Time to collect.
Yeah, Guinness in Brazil is imported from Ireland. Yeah. I don't know. Ireland always punch above their weight. I don't get it. We always do. It's like, we've made one of the most famous beer, like, alcoholic drinks in the world. And we're just this small little country. Cristiano, have you had any Irish food? Now, what constitutes as Irish food is usually if it's boiled. If it's boiled in a pot of water, then it's more than likely Irish. No Irish stew. Yeah, see, I don't know where it does. I couldn't tell you where it does a nice stew because I've been a vegetarian for 8 years now or something. However, something along them lines. So it's been a long time since I've had a stew. Yeah, no, fish and chips count. I know people say it's English, but, well, I mean, I guess it is English, but you know what I mean. I mean, culturally, there's not that much difference for multiple reasons. More than likely because the Brits took us over and for 800 years. So that's probably why there's not much cultural difference. And yes, I think every Irish person would be bitter about that from till the day we die. Adzi, have you been to the US? Yes, I have, Koopas. I've only ever stayed in Orlando. I've been a good few times when I was young. From like 2005 to 2014, I was probably there like 6 or 7 times. That was like our summer holiday destination. And I loved it for the theme parks, obviously. But one time we went into Orlando City. Orlando City did not seem like a nice place. But that's the only place I've been. I really enjoy it, but I think, see, part of the Irish experience in America is, you know, I'm gonna do a bad American accent here. It's like, oh my gosh, you're Irish? My dog's walker's breeder's friend's sister is Irish, so I'm Irish too. It's like everybody is fucking Irish over there. It's like, you're not Irish, you're American. I'm Irish, you're American. There's a difference. And every time an Irish waiter says, oh guys, are you like part of Britain or something? I'm like, oh my god. So, yeah. That's the Irish experience in America anyway. But yeah, I had fun. I do want to go to New York for a nice New York slice of pizza. And to go to the Nintendo shop, and that's it. And maybe get a hot dog, but I'm vegetarian. I assume there are vegan hot dog vendors in New York. I mean, it is 2024, so I would assume that's a thing anyway. But like, I've no interest in going to the West Coast. I don't know, like LA or any of that. It just seems like very fake or something. I don't know. It's like if you go to New York, it seems like there's history there, or even if you go to like a place like Boston, or you know, there's history, or. But I don't know. Like LA just kind of seems like you know, I'm going here because it's like popular and it's like, oh, all the movie stars are here, and it's like seems just very fake, you know. Wait, let's see. Adam's American accent is not its best today. Jake, that was an impeccable American accent. Curry rice is also different from what I'm used to, but that's probably not Irish. Well, Cristiano, if you want to go and get an Irish Chinese dish, go get a spice bag. You'll get it in any Chinese takeaway, and it's specifically an Irish thing. American by birth, Irish by the grace of God. That's 100% accurate. Yeah, a lot of people like to believe they're Irish for some reason. Yes, they do. If it's New York pizza you're looking for, I got you. Well, I would. That's what I want, Rain Man, is if I do ever go to New York. I assume I will at some point. I want to get like a proper New Yorkian, and I assume, Rain Man boy, you are a New Yorkian. If that's even what you call someone from New York, I don't know, but a proper New Yorkian to tell me like what is the spot. Like I don't want the spot that you see on like a TripAdvisor list, you know, the touristy spot. I want some place that looks like if you go in, you are either getting the best slice of pizza in your life or you are getting food poisoning, and there's no in between. That's the sort of pizza that I want. I've been to Times Square and the Nintendo store. It's awesome. That's exactly what I'd want to do. Yeah, if you visit... See, this is the funny thing, Coop, is like, when you hear Americans say, visit New York City, and then go to Washington, D.C. and Boston, they're close to each other. Let me see. NYC to Boston. It's a 4.5 hour drive. I assume you can get a train or a plane. It's a 5-hour train journey. You cannot find... From where I am in Dublin right now, you could not spend 5 hours on public transport without having to loop back on yourself. Cool, Cristiano. No bother. A Yankee or a New Yorker? Yeah, New Yorkian probably wasn't the right one. It's funny, as someone that has lived in New York, there are a few places I despise as much as Times Square. Well, I think that's just the experience, Jake, of living in a place. Like, if you're in Dublin, I'm sure like it's a pretty famous spot, like Temple Bar. There is the Temple Bar, which is a pub that sells like a pint of Guinness for like €10, which is just fucking insane. But Temple Bar is the touristy spot in Dublin City where people go for live music and drinks and food. I hate Temple Bar. I will never go near Temple Bar. Well, there's a lot of good shops in Temple Bar. It's very hipsterish, so you get a lot of retro shops and stuff like that. But I'll never go for a pint in Temple Bar or get food in Temple Bar because it's just stupid money. And I think that's just the experience of living in the places. Like, you know the tourist traps, and they're usually just really tacky and annoying. Well, actually, I know, Cristiano, you said you're lurking there, but I know you said you haven't had an Irish stew. But there's an area called Glasnevin. It's actually where I was born. Like, that's where I lived first when I was a kid for like a year. And there's a cemetery, and beside the cemetery, there's a pub called the Gravediggers, and they do a really they claim to be like one of the oldest pubs in Dublin or something. Now, again, you don't know how true that is, but they do probably the best pint of Guinness in Dublin, and they also do like Irish stew or coddle or something. Cristiano, try coddle. Also, someone asked, as an ignorant American, what's Irish food? Irish food is, you know, stew, beef stew, coddle, which is it's another stew. As I said, Irish food is throw it in a pot and boil the fuck out of it, and then that's the food. So a very traditional Irish meal is boiled ham, boiled cabbage, and boiled potatoes. Looks disgusting. I don't personally like it, even before I was, I'm pescatarian now, but even before I was vegetarian, I was never really a fan. But coddle is probably the most divisive thing in Ireland, because I think it's mostly a Dublin thing, and it's like a chicken stock based stew that has bacon, sausages, and a couple of other things. And loads of veg in it. Sorry, my doorbell's ringing. I must go. Give me 2 seconds. The Lower East Side, Jake. I will visit the Lower East Side whenever I am. He's coming back, Hyde. Andy's coming. Drop. That was my upstairs neighbour, I guess, because we live in an apartment that is underneath a house. It's kind of like, it's not underground, but it's like underground, if you get me. Like, we have a front door and a back door, but it's underground technically. And she makes bone broth a lot, so, and it's actually really cute. Her and her son's like, you know, young, he could be 3 or something. They drop in the scraps for Arlo, so Arlo loves them. Every couple of days they'll come in, they have like turkey scraps or chicken scraps with a couple of vegetables and stuff, and yeah, Arlo loves it, so. I forgot what it's like streaming during the summer. Because, well, by the summer, you know, it's like 16 degrees over here. And it just gets very warm. Not being able to have a window open, having lights on you, consoles on. Looks like Furukawa basically just confirmed the Switch 2 is backwards compatible, even if we already could have guessed. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I would have assumed so because it's kind of the standard now, but that's always good to hear. That also means, like, I think Switch 2 will get the resurgence as the indie machine now. Because as I keep saying, I think the indie machine is quite, or it was a really good indie machine, and the power, it just became less powerful over time, and half of the games don't run. That's why I'm playing this on PS5, not Switch. I don't actually know how well this runs on Switch as you get into the later levels. Yeah, I know the A&EO Pocket. Yeah, I don't know what, like, I don't know, because, well, if I can picture the A&EO Pocket, the problem is A&EO literally release 400 consoles a year, so it's nearly impossible to know. I think I have a mental image of it, but that looks kind of futuristic, doesn't it? Because that doesn't really gel with Nintendo much. I mean, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be very exciting. Because I think you can always guarantee, like, I think, you know, thinking back on, like, Sony launch titles and stuff, you know, there's never really that official, like, oh, this is the killer app. Like, I guess Demon's Souls was probably that for me on the PS5. Well, Astro Bot really, but, you know, that just kind of reminded me that I wanted another Astro Bot game. So it was a bittersweet moment, but like, Demon's Souls was kind of that, but there is something special about when a new Nintendo console comes out, because you know you will get that Breath of the Wild, or you'll get, I don't know, Wii Sports, or you'll get one of them titles that's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to play this for just that. Switch 2 is going to launch with, like, Elden Ring. Yes, I would love to see that. That would be, oh, Jake, don't get me excited. And imagine it ran at 60 FPS in handheld mode. I don't think that's going to happen, but we can all dream. When foes are slain, they damage nearby foes. Yeah, we'll take plus 10 damage resistance. Do I have a lot of money? I do. That's another thing, Koopa. You'll see a lot of very, very nice architecture in Dublin.
The power of the gods.
Your attacks deal more damage and inflicts weak. Your cast. Yeah, I think we'll go with the damage resistance. Bet Switch 2 gets Elden Ring in its first 8 months and it runs better than on the Steam Deck. I hope so. I don't think I'd take that bet. I think it's going to be less powerful than the Steam Deck, or on par with it. Unless it has some Nintendo LSS, some, you know, Nintendo version of DLSS or the PSS or whatever they're adding onto the PS5 Pro. Unless it has something like that. That's very specific to the Switch too. Special attacks deal more damage and inflict weak. Yeah, that's the one, isn't it?
My heart is
Talk to Karen or Sharon.
here, mate. Looks as though you've got some fine wares up for sale, don't you?
Yeah, I think that is right, Jake. I think the Steam Deck 2 is probably very close. I was very tempted to upgrade to the Steam Deck OLED because OLEDs are just so nice. And I just hope that the Switch 2 doesn't seem like a massive downgrade in that sense with the screen. Now, in saying that, as I've said, you know, with the Portal, it's like, okay, you don't need an OLED. An OLED is very nice. I like the OLED, but if the screen is a good screen, like in the PS Portal, you don't exactly need an OLED. So we just have to wait and see. Hopefully, I dodged that. Feck off. Crap game.
Didn't work.
Okay, we're in gamer mode here. Oh! I don't think I'm gonna be able to kill him. Feck, no! Oh! Ah, no, you can't dodge through that. Feck! God freaking damn it.
Ugh, I'll get that Hydra.
Okay, unfortunately, I have to read an email here. Okay, give a gift to a friend. Who am I going to give it to?
Surprise, Hypnos.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You can't bring that in here. Just kidding. Thanks. But
Cheers, Hypnos.
it's usually pretty quiet keeping watch over the pool of sticks back there. But it's sure been busy lately. Why,
Glad to keep.
Also, Jake, I am reading. I mightn't look like I'm listening to the dialogue there, but I do read it. I usually do that in games. I usually read the dialogue and then skip it. Yeah, cool. We'll upgrade that.
I'll have to keep an eye out for this next time out there.
Olympus knows of him, bestowing on him all their worthless blessings here within my realm.
Do not question my power, Hades. Your son was bound to be discovered.
Blood and darkness. Do not speak to me about their influence.
You would speak to me of foolish mistakes.
It's...
Achilles on break, I guess.
Yeah, that Surmount game actually looks pretty cool. Jake, did you ever play that really early Switch roguelike called Tumble Seed? It's probably one of potentially one of the most unique roguelikes I've ever played, and I have very fond memories of playing it.
Don't worry, mate.
You basically have this like
Managed to get home the painful way after all.
yeah, I was also thirsty to play shit on the Switch. It was so difficult. It was unbelievably difficult.
Look, I have a reputation to uphold. You get past me again like that, you best go all the way. Now leave me be and don't think you're gonna be so lucky next we meet out there.
Surely his multiverse is not like a month out from being released. I don't even know what I want to upgrade here. Additional dash is what I need. It's going to be the next one, so I'm going to go for all the purple boys. Can I get any more? Do I want to try the spear? Let's try the spear. Oh, May 28th. All right, well, there you go. Yeah, it's out in 20 days.
Want to try that thing out?
I have to... Sorry, there's an email here that I must reply to. unfortunately. Have you ever gotten the gun in Hades? No, I didn't. I don't know if you're winding me up there, Jake. I didn't know there was a gun in Hades. Okay, so that for that. Hold for a spin attack. Skewer and recall. Cool. Let's go.
That sound. That was...
Hey there, Zagman. How's it going? Look, you have got to get...
Is his name Dionysus or Dionysus?
Let me see what I can do. Make life a little sweeter for you in the meantime.
Your attacks inflict hangover.
Leave it to the god of wine to liven things up.
Dionysus. Yes?
Each time.
I mean, the real question is, how do we actually know what they're pronounced like? Skewer on recall. Oh, yes, I like the dash strike. Oh, yes. Dionysus. So Dionysus, and not Dionysus. Okay. See, because once you said the first one, I was like, feck, what one did I say first? If I remember correctly, isn't like Hangover isn't that like the sort of best sort of thing you want to be building towards? The attack is more range and deals 40% damage. Your special hits up to 7 foes. Okay.
Done and done.
Oh yeah, I need these purple boys so I can upgrade my stuff. Oh yes. Oh. Okay, so this Holmes now. Oh, homie. My marriage impression, for anybody wondering. If you didn't know, considering how good it was. I think we'll go for the extra health. I need all the extra health I can get. Are they explodey things? Yeah. I remember. Thank you for the extra health. Can we buy anything? No. Go for the purple things again. Whatever the currency is called. Back. Okay, now I have 66 of them. That means I can buy the upgrade head. And what do you think of yesterday's Xbox news means for Scalebound? I'm really excited for the game to come out. Yeah. I mean, Scalebound realistically was the start of it all, wasn't it? I mean, Xbox were already on their way down before that, but I think Scalebound genuinely might have been the sort of first nail in the coffin. That is Xbox. What an absolute disaster. It's like, when you hear of like studio closures, okay? Out of all of them, like, okay, Arcane Austin, they made Redfall. That game sucks. Okay. But then, like, when you get into Tango, they made The Evil Within 1 and 2, which were relatively well-received games. Obviously, they didn't make them on the Microsoft. Then they made Ghostwire Tokyo, which again was like a relatively, you know, again, when you pick up... No, that's not much use. And then they released Ghostwire Tokyo, which again was a relatively, you know, well-received game. It's pretty okay. And then they released Hi-Fi Rush, which I personally believe is probably, if not the best game Xbox have ever published. Yeah, I think I've really thought that one through my head, and I can't think of any others that I've played. I'm like, oh yeah, that's better than this. And for all metrics, it seems to be a pretty big success. Not like an overwhelming success. I think it sold well over 1 million copies. And now they're gone. It's like, we're not getting a Hi-Fi Rush 2.
Come forth, wretches, and stop this meddler.
I don't know. I think Xbox, like, as sad as it is, it's like, it's not nice to see people lose their jobs. And like, it's almost like, not like I don't want to see Xbox fail, I don't, but I want to see the way they are moving the gaming industry to fail. I don't like how they're just forcing their way. They're trying to force their way in, or they have tried to force their way in, should I say, with just using money to get in there. It's like, I think me and Jake were talking about it yesterday, and it's like, you know, PlayStation, I think, did a lot bad. Like, they did a lot good for the industry, but they did a lot. They kind of made unrealistic expectations with the quality of their games, with how much budget that goes into them, which is, you know, kind of has made the industry even more unsustainable than it is already. And then Microsoft come in and they make it unsustainable in a completely different way, where they just sort of train gamers into not wanting to buy games. And now there's like a big expectation of, oh, this game should be, I should be able to just get this game on like PS Plus or something. That just isn't sustainable. It's never going to work. And I mean, it's proved that it probably isn't going to work, because Microsoft have already started to move away from what their original plan was. So, and I'll always take it back to the football or soccer analogy with Liverpool and City. City came in with all their money, bought loads of players, built new stadiums, got the best manager in the world, and they did it all through money. And they're unstoppable because of it. And that's what I don't want. That's what I don't want Microsoft to turn into, where they do become unstoppable and almost force every other game maker slash console maker into sort of their business model, because I just don't think it's good. Just saw Kind of Funny is having a live stream to talk about them changing. Oh, did they not only like introduce that new review scale like a year ago or something?
The boon of Dionysus prior to my own. He, the most noble and important of us all, the god of wine himself.
Sorry. 2 seconds. No idea, lol. They did it out of 5 before. Now I'm sure they're switching. Yeah. I think out of 10 is better. I think out of 5 is a bit... Well, to be honest, I just think review scores are... the review scores were... Review scores in general are just bad. Any chamber rewards more. Your dash... Your cast is wide, short range blast, and it flicks weak. We'll go with that. Oh, that ability. Oh my god. It's too good.
Gods grant me strength.
Your attack afflicts hangover. Yeah, I just think going into the hangover is the way to go, isn't it?
I'll take what's mine.
You truly are an idiot, aren't you?
Oh,
You lot, huh?
Back to the
oh, geez, that was very quick, wasn't it? Oh yeah, give me all that. Oh baby, I needed that.
Cute. Hey, Carol.
Oh shit.
Great.
What can I buy? Do I get the health? No, I don't get the health. I'll go for an upgrade here.
Right?
Oh, I can buy the health.
I'm here, Meg.
What are you doing, Zagreus? The underworld is sealed off. What you're attempting is impossible. You've seen what happens when you...
This place can't stay sealed shut forever, Meg. In the meantime, I thought I'd get some practice in, you know?
I'm not your practice partner, fool. Hold it right there.
Oh yeah, I could probably just fucking keep throwing the triangle one at him. Oh!
Yes. This holds some sort of power, but for what?
Blood of Tartarus.
Megara failed again.
Boon's worth giving up.
Yeah, I'm very sorry to end this stream on something. I'm basically, for anybody wondering, I'm organising a stags, and it's the most stressful thing I've ever done in my lifetime. And something's just come up that I have to deal with, unfortunately, and I will have to end the stream there. It's kind of annoying because I was actually kind of getting into this, maybe. I mean, it's usually around now when I kind of fall out of love with this game. After an hour or two, I usually get on to beating the boss. I get to the Minotaur guy, and then that's usually the end of it, really. I try to fight him, and then I'm like, I'm kind of done. But apologies for that. I will be back. I actually think there's a new game coming out tomorrow that hopefully I will get a code for, and I'll be streaming it tomorrow, so I'll probably see you tomorrow. Actually, maybe I'll see you tomorrow anyway, either on my channel or Jake's channel. But yes, apologies about that, but It's out of my control and I have to run. So, thank you everybody for watching this very short stream. And I'll be back tomorrow or something. Goodbye.